Pardon me.
Thank you so very much for hanging out with us on a Tuesday night. It's playoff night. The Nats are very close to first pitch in a one-and-done playoff scenario against the Milwaukee Brewers. So we're not going to keep you too long. We do want to talk a little WCAC.
1 minute away.
WCAC Spectacular. I'm Ken Marangolo. He's Tim Strachan.
There's Scherzer on the mound.
Mad Max.
Matt, the real deal.
So wave your imaginary
wave your imaginary flag,
folks.
of course.
Get it done.
We Darren McClendon is in the house also. We got some stakes coming. We got a big night of playoff baseball, but we won't let a week go by without talking about the greatest high school sports conference in the land.
Oh, we're going.
That is the WCAC. Why don't you
Did you hit the record and don't you?
Oh yeah.
Oh, we're
This
flying.
is
I
bonus
thought we were
material.
I'm gonna
I thought this was the pregame.
This is
this
material.
is no, because we had
Scherzer.
Darren Darren took
already
us live
just-
like right at the top.
Yeah, you went right into it.
We have a whole crew
Okay.
here right now. I mean,
We're
this is
doing-
people working overtime. There's
we're doing
roadies, teamsters, union people.
I don't normally do this left-handed, so see,
That's all right.
It's gonna be great.
it's not working.
What do you want me to push?
There it is.
Right there.
There we go. Ready?
Let's do it. Let's bring him in.
Go.
It's a
Bring it
good
on
week
in.
on the gridiron for the WCAC. Once again, in pole position on the ESPN late game.
The Falcons are a rolling stone. Wherever they play, that's their home. And when they win, the defense always sets the tone.
I like it.
Little soul there, man.
I like it. He's Tim Reddy,
Catch my
high
breath in the
notes.
middle of
Nice.
that.
good counsel correspondent and super fan and our friend. And you know what? We're going to start with good counsel tonight because I want to have Tim on for some baseball themed WCAC questions coming up here. What happened to the Falcons and with the Falcons this past weekend, Tim?
Well, as the intro may have indicated, good counsel's defense set the tone for this game. And the offense, honestly, the offense struggled most of the night. They changed up quarterbacks. They went with the 10th grader, Chase Williams, who's a good-looking kid with a big-time arm. But they were a little out of sync with the run game. They were running some read option stuff that he struggled to make the read on a little bit early.
You think
And,
maybe
it
they've
was
made
0-0.
You think
What's
they
that?
made the choice and then they'll give him more reps and just go with him now?
I think so. I mean, that's the direction that I see it going at this point. So he struggled a little bit early. It was 0-0 going into the half, but Friendship Collegiate was backed up with about a minute to go in the first half. They were backed up, punting out of their own end zone, and the punter kicked it off the back of his own up back, and
That's never good.
not necessarily good. Jason Scott, number one for good counsel, caught it out of the air in the end zone, and it was 7-0 at half. And good counsel really played great on defense.
That's what they do.
55 D tackle Brandon Roberts had a big game in a big first half. He seemed to be in the backfield the whole time. In the third quarter, good counsel came out, and Chase did end up showing off his arm, hit Jalen Dotson, who ended up juking 3 guys in the FC backfield and taking it to the house, and they went up 14-0. The ensuing kickoff, Friendship Collegiate returned for a touchdown. So it was 14-6 pretty quick. The extra point was blocked. The council got the ball again, went 3 and out. FC got the ball back, ended up going down and scoring. Went for 2. Melton Mitchell on the sack, of course, shut that down. So it was 14-12, and as close as it got. Later in the game, outside linebacker number 5, Caleb Dennis for good counsel, picked off the FC quarterback and took it to the house. So good counsel had 2 defensive touchdowns in a 21-12 win over Friendship Collegiate.
Yeah, they got a
Not
little
too
bit of a
shabby.
test, though. Obviously, they got a little bit. It sounds like it was a much better game.
It was. I mean, I wasn't overly impressed with Friendship Collegiate. It seemed like good counsel had many defenders in their backfield every play. FC's quarterback, one of their big highlights that wasn't really a completed play, but I mean, the kid had a big time arm himself, rolling. He's a right-hander, but rolling out to his left. He threw one from the 45 out of the end zone, and it hit a gator that was parked like 15 yards behind the goalpost. I mean, the kid had a huge arm, and he was out there slinging it. But they didn't look
Throwing it at
overly
mascots
impressive.
and stuff.
What's that?
He's throwing it at a mascot or stuff on the sidelines. pulled it.
Oh, we lost him.
Stand
Hold
by,
on.
folks.
Hold on.
Scherzer gave up the 2-run bomb, and
Yeah,
we lost
Scherzer
Tim.
just popped one here. It's early. We haven't even batted
You back
yet.
there? You back there, Tim? We
there,
lost
brother?
you.
There you go.
All right,
There
we
you
got
go.
you
We-
back.
we lost
Well,
you.
Sorry
hang out
about
with
that,
us.
guys.
Hang out with us for
Scherzer's
a
fault.
couple of minutes. It's Scherzer's fault. He just gave up a 2-run blast.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's okay. But and he knocked our phone off the table. Let's hang out
Yeah,
here with us for a couple minutes. I want to talk
Will do.
about the game that was on ESPN. St. John's Cadets took on the number 1 team in the country, Mater Dei. Was a really good game, especially for the home team in the first half. Before the number 1 team in the country pulled away pretty quickly at the top of the second half.
It shifted gears.
Couple mistakes, but for the most part, you could tell. To me, these are games St. John's belongs in, and they're going to
Absolutely.
be winning these games.
Absolutely.
They're
And
competing.
They
Yeah.
hung with
That's what
them
counts.
again. Once
Exactly.
again, they hung with them for about 3 quarters, maybe a little bit more, and then they lost steam.
Yep.
They lost steam. Look, they have played 4 of the best teams in the country.
Yeah,
Without question.
No
I
doubt.
mean, and I don't mean just good teams. These are 4 of the best top teams
Not on the East
in
Coast,
the
in the
country.
country. Yep.
And they're battle tested. They've taken it on, and if they can keep their heads straight, they don't even know how good they could be if they could put it all together. They have such great drives, and then they'll have a drive killer.
Yep.
And then they can't recover from that. Where it seems like some of the teams that they are playing just keep that pedal on, and they don't miss a beat. And then eventually that just even wears down a team like St. John's. That's what I've seen. I've been so impressed with Soljay, especially on the ground. Some of the huge plays he's making. Also, then making plays in the past game, and then you just have a negative play somewhere
Yep.
in there where it loses its some momentum, and that's what I thought Tim has been hurting them the most.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, T. And Mater Dei has always been a fantastic team, and their quarterback was fantastic. I mean, the way he just whipped the ball around the field and pretty much did whatever he wanted.
he's going to look good on Saturdays.
Absolutely, he's going to be a good on Sundays one of these days too. But the kid from St. John's that always stands out is number 1. And no
Rock
matter
him.
who they play, he's always one of the best football players on the field.
Yeah, and they got to find a way to get him the ball more, though. They got to be a little bit more innovative. You got to get a guy like that. That's that talented.
Well,
the ball.
they're getting him out there on
Yeah.
some other.
Yeah, I think they tried to
opportunities.
reverse or something like that this past
Yeah.
weekend.
So he's going to
Yeah.
get some more touches, and we'll see
But
that. when we
his
get
best
league
play was just a hitch, and he took it 30 yards.
Took it to the house, he juked inside, and ran down the sideline. I mean, he's just extremely explosive with the ball. But the feature player in most all great offenses is the quarterback or the running back. It's hard to have your star guy being the receiver because of you got to throw it to get it to him, or you're running a reverse or something like that. It's so much easier when you can just either have the guy who gets the ball on the snap or the guy he hands it to right behind him to be your feature player.
Yeah.
And he's none of those guys, unfortunately. But when he does get the ball, he is
Look out.
just impressive.
How
And, there's a
about,
reason why he's so highly ranked?
How about the boys in blue and red?
Yeah, DeMatha had another pretty easy weekend. I'm pretty sure Bill would be upset with my way of characterizing that, but Life Christian Academy really was not much of a match for the DeMatha Stags. 34-0. They were never in any trouble. It looked like DeMatha once again was just honing some of their skills. It was almost just constant reps for them, Tim, and it was just a Saturday worth of reps for them. Everything was working in their favor. And again, DeMatha's just a team that if they can get out in front and they can get that running game going, they're hard to beat. It'd be hard to take it over. They're a ball control team. They're big up front. They're getting a lot better up front on the offensive line. They're a big, physical, old school, smash mouth DeMatha team.
Well, and DeMatha started off, T, that first really tough game against St. John Bosco, and then have pretty much swept the rest of the schedule. So it's
And I thought
they
Good
had that
Counsel and
really
DeMatha
tough
played.
game early.
I thought Good Counsel and DeMatha played Bosco pretty much the same. I mean,
It
the
appeared
result
that
was
way.
almost the same.
Yeah, it appeared that way.
So that's going to be an interesting matchup.
Yep.
Well, DeMatha up against FC this week. So Good Counsel FC plays GC, and now they're playing DeMatha. That's going to be interesting.
Mhm.
But I think I've got DeMatha 30, FC 7. I think DeMatha does to them what they've been doing to everybody else, sans St. John Bosco.
What else do we got?
I was
We
gonna
got,
say,
well, we had McNamara. Is
You want
McNamara
to
on?
get Carol hosted.
It was
the
Carol's homecoming, I
Mustangs for
believe.
homecoming.
That's right.
That's right. It was a pretty close close battle. McNamara came out on top, 27-16. So I'm sure you were well aware of those festivities back in Forestville after the game.
Without a doubt.
You didn't go.
We were
didn't
we
go,
were all
Ken?
there.
That was well, the game
Tim
was.
was there.
It was Carol's homecoming.
Yeah, it was Carol's
Correct.
homecoming.
Yeah, but still.
We'll be at McNamara's homecoming
McNamara was celebrating.
next
Big win.
Saturday, October 12th. We'll be at Bishop McNamara for their homecoming. They'll be hosting St. John's. Tough homecoming draw. A lot of
They
respect.
got Paul VI this week. I've got
Yep.
Bishop Mac 35, PVI 21.
All right.
That's
Friday night battle out
Mr.
at
Reddy's
PVI,
prediction
yeah.
here.
I'd like to see. I mean, 16 points. I'd like to see the Mustangs, hold get a single-digit defensive point total against Paul VI, if that's possible this week. And I would like to see him put a 3-handle on offense, because the next 4 weeks coming, there's going to be some tough sledding. Like they need a little bit. They need a confidence booster. The Mustangs do heading into league play, and so and Paul VI. A little bit of it, I wouldn't call it a down year, and they've got wins, but the McNamara, I think the McNamara team. I agree with you, Tim. I think the Mustangs got them, and this, it's a big deal for a team that was winless as recently as 2 years ago. When you're talking about games that we think that they should win, how's this Mustang team going to respond in a situation where they should win? Mm-hmm. So and it's also the two divisions, the dividing line, once you get past those top four, there's a lot of teams mixing around. I think Bishop McNamara needs to establish themselves, and make sure that they're competing, in a strong way on a regular basis with those little brother teams.
I still have to laugh.
You know what I mean?
Only because I know how much we've talked about St. John's' schedule and how hard it is against all these. We love to joke that McNamara has the hardest schedule in the country, having now in just a couple of weeks go up against the four-headed monster that they're going to see.
So we got to get bowl eligible. We got to get bowl eligible this week. I think is our best chance.
Well, I definitely say Bishop McNamara is my least hated team in the conference.
Nice.
And I always like to see them.
Nice.
I always like to see them, win a couple games. And honestly,
We
it's
don't
gotta be
hate
tough.
anybody, Tim.
When
but
they
we
get
know what
into
you mean.
league play, I mean, they're playing up against the best teams in the area. So it's very, very difficult week in and week out. They never have a week off. So I feel for those guys, and I know what it's like to coach on teams when you're getting worked every week and playing on a team like that too. And it's not easy. So I've got a sneaker for Bishop McNamara out there somewhere, but I would never step foot in PG County. No.
Hey, Maddie, give us some other results
we got
before.
one more big one.
Give a shout out to McNamara for also traveling to Paul VI. That's 2 road games.
Yep.
Traveling.
Oh wow!
Before they come
good for
home.
them. Upcoming schedule, we mentioned
Well, we
friendship.
didn't do Gonzaga.
Yeah,
Gonzaga took on a team from Tampa, Florida, Plant High School. I think it was 7-7 somewhere in the second quarter. Gonzaga turned on the Jets and blew them away, 41-7.
That's been the story with the Purple Eagles all season.
Yep.
They established themselves
They get
in
familiar.
the first quarter, second quarter, and then all of a sudden,
turn it up. They flip a switch, and things happen down there on I Street.
Well, like I said, that's going to be tough against a team like DeMatha if they can get a good lead and get that running game going. I know Caleb and them can sling it, and that probably plays into their game. But that's dangerous play. It's dangerous play in the WCAC.
It was the last time they played DeMatha. They put themselves in that position.
This is true. Thanks for the reminder.
I'm just saying.
And then 45 seconds happened.
What do you got?
Give us the rundown.
WCAC schools.
Gonzaga's got Leesburg, Florida, coming up this weekend.
Okay.
So we'll see how that works out.
I've got Gonzaga losing that game, gentlemen. I've got
Whoa.
Leesburg 38, Gonzaga 35. I think their run out, or their luck runs out this week. I think Leesburg's going to get some points on them and give Gonzaga a loss going into the league.
All right.
Well, we rarely pick losses for WCAC schools before league play starts, but I respect your.
We're going to need to pick one here. Did Tim mention the opponent for the Good Counsel Falcons this weekend?
Well,
I have not, and
what do you
that
got?
is the 3-2 St. Mary's Riken, who had 2 early losses against 2 Baltimore tandem, Mount St. Joe's and Calvert Hall, but have won 3 in a row, including McNamara, Eastridge from I don't know where Ridge,
Florida,
and Catholic from Virginia Beach. So that's St. Mary's schedule coming in, but I've got Good Counsel doing the Good Counsel thing, 24, St. Mary's 7.
Well, I got to tell you, Tim, a gentleman who came over to my house to watch a football game this past weekend,
Yes.
Nonetheless, Chuck Woolridge, they're getting pretty fired up for this game. I'm not saying he was talking any smack. I'm just saying they're looking forward to it.
Where's the game being played?
I think St. Mary's Riken right now is playing some pretty good football, so I think it's going to be a pretty good game.
Yeah, Good Counsel.
At Good
It's
Counsel.
at
Certainly-
Our Lady of Good Counsel.
Good Counsel certainly has the
Friday
size
night.
and strength advantage. There's no doubt about that.
Sure. That's a long trip for those boys from the Hawaii of the league.
I called
is.
Chuck. I said, where are you? He goes, here in Hawaii.
Here in Hawaii. I love it.
Watching a
We
little pregame.
appreciate
Well, it
you
sounds
guys.
like paradise, man. But
It is.
Good Counsel's defense is not paradise, and I know I've said that, but I've watched a lot of these guys this year, and every week I'm surprised by a new player on the defense that makes a big play. And I try to mention as many of the guys as I can, but they just have guys that are always around the football and making big plays. And the 2 defensive touchdowns this week just spells it out with the kind of success they're having. If they can get the offense in sync, they're going to be tough to deal with. And defense wins championships, as they say, and it's going to keep them in every game. And I don't see St. Mary's Riken bringing something to the table up in Olney this week.
What you got for us, Seal?
2 more Saturday matchups here. We have Bishop Ireton hosting John Paul the Great, and O'Connell traveling down to St. Albans to take on the Bulldogs. St. John's and Carroll have byes.
Who's got the better chance in those 2 games?
I like St. Albans against O'Connell. They're on
Okay.
a streak, and I say that I'm a little biased.
You like
to
St. Albans
against O'Connell.
So you don't think either WCAC team is going to win?
I don't know much
in those
about
2?
John Paul the Great against Ireton, so I'll go with Ireton.
They sound good. John
they
Paul the
have
Great.
Ireton's
I
got a
called for a
decent
sweep
squad
every
this week.
There you go.
That's
I
what
think
call
It's
it.
like the Great Gatsby.
Ireton
Great.
has a decent team this year, so I think they could pull that one. But I'm a little biased to St. Albans because there's 3 brothers playing for them that are Blessed Sacrament alumni. The Harmons, Will,
Oh, there
and
you
then
go.
twin brothers Miles and Luke, sophomores,
Yes, dogs.
are up there playing varsity ball for St. Albans. So get out there and give it to them on Saturday, boys.
All right,
Give me hell, boys.
everyone gets out on a Nats themed WCAC question. Seal, you get to go first. Who is the Anthony Rendon right now, mid-season of the WCAC?
Of the WCAC.
That's right.
What?
The Anthony
So
Rendon,
he's basically your MVP. is
an
what you're
MVP
gonna say.
candidate.
It has to be a baseball player?
No,
No, it has to be a football.
of the
it's
football league.
It's
The,
football.
the Anthony
It's
Rendon
an
of the
interesting-
WCAC right now.
interesting Concepts. I'll go with Caleb Williams from Gonzaga.
Oh, he's going to get a lot of votes in
he's your
multiple
obvious
categories.
choice. So he is your leader on and off the field down there.
Okay.
Kid does it all.
I never understand these questions.
All right. Well, I'm going to give you the easiest one of all.
just go with
Who's
it.
the Max
Just go with
Scherzer
it.
of the WCAC league right now? Your ace, your workhorse.
That'd be Caleb Williams. But
I was going to say
No, I was
Anyway.
going to call that Rakim.
you could.
Yeah.
You could. I mean, a guy that you depend on, you're going to throw up on, and you know,
Yes.
you want win one
The guy I want
or
to
go
make
home.
sure is on the
That's
field when I
fine.
need him most.
Yeah.
I'm going Rock.
Tim Reddy, who is the Davey Martinez of the WCAC? Who's pushing the right buttons? Or maybe you don't think Davey Martinez is pushing the right buttons, but who's the coach that's got your attention right now?
I like Andy Stefanelli from Good Counsel.
Of course you do.
Shocking.
And they don't call
We
me
all
a
do.
super fan for nothing. And,
We all like Andy Stefanelli.
as I have said before, I'm impressed with what they've done with the program and the kids that he continues to bring in, and the kind of spirited play, and the class that they play with too. I think Good Counsel overall is a pretty classy team. And I know that Coach Stefanelli and his crew impress that upon the boys as much as they can. So I'm going with Coach Andy Stefanelli.
Couldn't be said by a more classy guy.
There you go.
Right.
I was gonna say class
Well, I appreciate that, my brother.
classes up class. I had the last one who was the Juan Soto. I mean, the way I had to find that one, T, was the young gun, you know, but a guy who plays above his age in the WCAC. We haven't got to see a lot, but Rohan Davey,
His first guy I was just thinking
the
of.
young buck from
Young
the
buck.
Cadets defense, who
Football player, man.
is puts his nose in there, plays pretty
football
smart.
player with a football name.
That's a
Yeah,
football
he
player,
sure
man.
he sure does. So he gets my mid-season vote for young gun who plays above his class. And he's doing some good things. We look forward to watching him for another 3.5 years. We got to let our main man exit stage left. Tim Reddy, we appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for hanging out with us this Tuesday evening.
Well, it's always my pleasure, gentlemen. and I look forward to it every week. And again, it's great to follow Good Counsel and the great things that they're doing out there. But guys, it's going to be Good Counsel Friday night. We'll be feeling right. We're going to bring that hope. Man, Friday night we'll be feeling right. We're going to bring that trophy home. All right. See you guys next time.
Appreciate it.
He didn't practice that one as much as
No,
he
he
had.
didn't.
Thank you
Love it,
guys
though,
for
Tim.
giving
Love
us
it. On the
your
outro.
Tuesday night on a playoff night. On behalf of Kevin Ricca, who's not here this evening, who's representing us down at the stadium. I'm Ken
He's on
Marangolo.
location.
He's
On
Matt the
location.
Real Deal Seal.
Excused absence. Another good weekend of football coming up here, and I look forward to getting out on the sidelines with you all in 2 weeks.
Yes.
It's gonna be great.
Back for a good 5 out of 6 week
Fall-
stretch.
Fall week.
Tim Strachan.
Be grounded. Stay rounded. Thanks, guys.
Kevin might say be a good sport.
Be a good sport.
Be a good sport.
Until next Thursday, he's
Tuesday.
Darren McClinton. Yeah, next Thursday, next
Thursday,
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
He'll still be Darren
Could be
McClinton.
Monday. You
He
never
may
know.
still be here on Thursday.
He'll still be here. I'm Ken Marangolo, and this was the WCAC Spectacular. Yeah, why don't you grab that for us? Thanks a lot for hanging out with us
Darren.
tonight, guys.
See you guys. Sorry about the phone snafu.
No, and